Hey everybody, Matt Ruck here with another video of Pixelmon in Minecraft. Today we're going to be going over all the new content that was added with the latest update 8.2 to the Pixelmon world, and a lot of that includes a lot of Generation 8 mythical and legendary Pokemon, along with Gigantamaxing Pokemon. Let's get into it. Last night we finally got the update that we've all been waiting for, and that's update 8.2 for the Pixelmon mod in Minecraft. What this update allows us to do now is Gigantamax our Pokemon. It actually also brings in most of the remaining, if not all of the remaining Generation 8 Pokemon into the mod, which is finally, like after a year of waiting, we finally got this giant update. So it's definitely been worth the wait. Now I'm just going to scroll through this list of the changelog for this update because there is so much content. I just want you all to see how much there actually is. There's new Pokemon, Gigantamax forms, just general new forms, there's a ton of those. Updated Pokemon models, they've added abilities, moves, structures, which is really cool. A bunch of items, they've got new quests, riding features, riding Pokemon, voices for Pokemon, miscellaneous like features and additions, and then just tons and tons of changes and bug fixes for the game, which is really good. It just means that they're just really polishing up this game, which is going to be great for us in the long run. So what I'm going to do is just go over a bunch of the new models, the Gigantamax forms, and like the structures that have been added into the game. Obviously, I can't go through everything in this video because it would be over an hour long, and I know that's just way too long to be watching the game, especially when it just came out. You just want to play it. So I just want to go through the Pokemon, that way you know what they all look like. So starting off with the new Pokemon, we have the Generation 8 Pokemon. I might say their names wrong, but at least you'll be able to see them, and the names should be pretty close to what they are in the actual game. But leave a comment below if I really seriously mispronounce something. So starting off, we have Cufant and Caparaja, and then we have Arctozolt, or Dracozolt, Arctozolt, Dracovish, and Arctovish. Then we have Duraludon, I believe. And then next up is the legendaries themselves from Generation 8. So I do have my chisel here. This is going to be Zacian, the hero of many battles form. And then this is the iconic, the crowned form for Zacian. And then we have Zamazenta and his crowned form as well. And then next up we have the big bad boss himself, Eternatus. So he will be able to Gigantamax in Pixelmon. I don't know if you can do that right now. He won't have the Uber stats that he has in the game because otherwise he'd just be broken. I'm not sure if they have any plans to change it in the future, but you can see he is just absolutely massive. And I cannot wait to see what he looks like when you get him like in the Jumbo form or like Gigantamax him. Moving on, we do have Kubfu and Urshifu. Then we have Zarude, Glastrier, Spectrier, and Calyrex. So I did add also the two, I would say the fusion forms of Calyrex, Glastrier, and Spectrier. These ones are called the Ice Rider, and I believe it is the Shadow Rider. So these two forms are going to be really cool to get once you get those three legendaries. And then finally we have Galarian Slowking, which is just kind of like, you know, it's not a legendary, but they added it. Next up we have what many people have been looking forward to for the last year, and that is the Gigantamax Pokemon. Now, I did bring these Pokemon with the chisel, so they are not as big as they're going to be when you Gigantamax them in the game. They will be probably the same size as they would be if you Dynamax them. But the Gigantamax versions are Venusaur, Blastoise, which is amazing. Look at all those cannons coming out of his shell. Charizard, which, if I turn this into nighttime, he like has that glowing. A lot of these Gigantamax Pokemon have like this great glowing feature, so it's something you know, just a little note to keep track of. We do have Butterfree, Pikachu, Meowth, Machamp, Gengar, which is kind of funny looking. We have, I believe this is Kingler, Gigantamax Kingler. He almost looks like a Gandalf. Lapras, Eevee, Snorlax, Garbodor. Yeah, Garbodor. Oops. I'll bring him back later. Melmetal. Oh, Corviknight. Very, very cool. This is probably one of my favorite Gigantamax forms because he has the little birds flying around him. And then we have some of these less popular ones, the Orbeetle, the Apple, or Flapple and Snapple, or Appleton. Hatterene, Duraludon, Grimmsnarl. Come on. Oh, I can't even click him. It's the snake. I forgot which snake this is, but then we have just a few more. Dreadnought, Inteleon, and then Colossal. So just tons and tons of Gigantamax forms. And I'm sure as, like with the future updates, like 8.3, I'm sure they'll introduce probably several dozen more of these forms. So next up we have the alternate art Pokemon. So first one up is the Lunatone, and you can see that there's different moon phases for Lunatone at different phases of like the moon cycle that you'd see in like your science class. We have one of the coolest ones is Metagroudon, the meta form. I'll have to make a video on how to get this guy. He looks incredible, and he does glow too. He's got like that nice blue stripe going around his body, which is amazing. The Spheals, these are a lot of different forms of Spheals. So you can see that they actually are skinned based on the Pokeball that you catch them in. Now, the rate for these skins to happen, I think, is like 1%. It's very, very rare. But you can see, like, all of these different Pokeballs in the bottom here are different skins that you can get for Spheal. I just picked 4 of them because I thought they all looked pretty cool. Then we have a bunch new rainbow skinned Pokemon added. Cresselia is really cool. I think Milotic is amazing. And then next up we have the Valencian forms. So I'll have to ask Nikupe, the expert, where these forms come from, but you can see it's just a bunch of different colors for a lot of like these old school Pokemon. Definitely a cool addition to the game. And then finally we have updated models. This is something that I think a lot of people sleep on, but there were a lot of models in the game that were just very, very blocky still. It was probably like the original models from when they were first created. But you can see like they've smoothed out the textures. Everything just looks really, really clean from these Pokemon now. The one that really stands out to me actually is Porygon. I don't know why. It kind of reminds me of like a comic book, the way the lines are so dark and just the way he's colored in. I think the devs have done a phenomenal job on him. And not just Porygon, but like all of the Pokemon that have been added are just top notch. So next up we have new abilities, new moves, and new G moves. I'm not going to read through all of these. There are a lot of them. But I'm just going to kind of highlight over these so you can take a quick look to see what's on here. Feel free to pause the video if you want to read through them all. As you can see, if you're looking at these, you can probably see on the G-Max moves, you can probably tell which G-Max moves go with what G-Max Pokemon that I showed you, or what Gigantamax Pokemon I showed you before. Volt Rush obviously is probably Pikachu, Wildfire, Charizard. You get the drill. New items, there is obviously Max Mushrooms and Max Soup. These will allow you to Gigantamax your Pokemon. And there is just a whole assortment of different items. Here we have the Rusted Sword and Shield. These will obviously be on Zacian and Zamazenta when you catch them. I don't think they will be added, or I don't think they'll be permanently on them though. So like right now with this initial release, all Zamazentas and Zacians should have these in their held slot. But I'm sure in the future they'll probably drop it to like either a percentage, or maybe they'll make these items as like a quest line where you have to, kind of like the Azure Flute, where you have to collect plates, bring it to the Arcchalice, and then you get the Azure Flute to summon in like Arceus. You might have to do something like that to get these to unlock the crowned forms, which would be, I think, really cool. They did also add Scroll of Waters and Scroll of Darkness. I'm guessing that has something to do with these structures over here, which we will get into in a second. But there is no items that I could find in the game with these names. So, something to look into for sure in the future. To wrap up this video, I wanted to show you some of the new structures that were added into the game as well. I think some of the structures that they've added into the game, even in the past, have been some of the most interesting design features that they've had. Obviously, the Pokemon are the bread and butter, but having like these really unique structures spawn throughout your world is always really cool to stumble across them. So here are the Shadow. I believe this is the Tower of Shadow and the Tower of Water. So you can see they look pretty much the same. One's got a purplish color with a V, and the other one's got like almost like a U, but it's like an upside down Omega sign, and it's more of a blue color. So we're gonna go actually explore the water tower quick. So you can see it's pretty basic as far as what the layout. They do have chests in it that drop items, so I'm gonna actually break these as I run up, that you can kind of see what type of items you might be able to find if you stumble across these in the world as you find them. I know I didn't there, so apparently there was one chest on the bottom floor. It doesn't look like there's any more on those middle levels, but you can see here that there is a nice banner, mover learner, and then 2 more chests up here. So I'm just breaking these. I don't think I had enough room for everything, but you can see you kind of have enchanted like tools. It looks like sticks and swords, some items. I do know, like, I broke the boxes in the Shadow Tower yesterday, and I did actually get like a dread plate, so that would be used for the Arceus, the Arc Chalice, or not? Yeah, the Arc Chalice to get the Azure Flute for Arceus. Now, if you look through the changelog, you're also going to see that they added a bunch of ocean structures to the game. So like, this is one that I found in this like random creative world that I like decided to create for these videos, and you can see it's just like a little ship with like a little, almost like a patio set up, and you can actually like run around and explore this ship. What I think is really cool is they have like a stronghold here. I am just gonna break it all so we can go ahead and take a look quick, but you can see here they've got chests with like a bunch of different items in it. Never Melt Ice, Old Rod, just really neat, like nothing so far that looks like really, you know, god tier, but I'm sure it's going to be kind of like the other ones where if you find enough of them, you'll probably end up finding like really good items occasionally in them. So each one is kind of like its own little treasure chest, each structure. I'm sure the other ones also have more. I think there's like a Magikarp structure as well. But anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I know this was a very brief video into the 8.2 update for Pixelmon. If you like this video and you want to learn more, hit that subscribe button. Tomorrow I will be doing a live stream with the Pokemon expert Nakupe. We'll be able to go into a deep dive with all the new changes, all the new items, skills, abilities, and the Pokemon. And hopefully if you have any general questions, I'll be able to answer that as well. And if we don't know the answer, we'll figure it out in creative mode. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.